wasn't a very good person. And for the first time, he knew it was true. That was a few hours ago. It was now around 3:30 a.m. He had been driving around aimlessly ever since, watching, with rapt attention, this most recent incident, interspersed with short clips of thousands of other typically censored experiences. Short scenes that demonstrated that, like she said, he wasn't a very good person. They were being broadcast, one after the other, sometimes overlapping, seemingly automatically, by a projector in his head, onto the interior of his face, partially obscuring his vision. In one sequence, he's daring some older boys to climb up out of the window of a below-ground bathroom onto the playground of a Catholic elementary school, then locking the window behind them. Now he's throwing feeder mice into the air as high as he can, and screaming gleefully as they return to Earth. Now he's being choked in rollerblades by a muscular teenager with a square-top haircut and his face is bloody. Now his mother is calling him into the hallway of a yellowing suburban house. The peeling paint reflects white and red lights of a Christmas tree in the living room. Your dad just dropped this off for you, but he's busy and couldn't stay, she says, handing him a glossy box displaying a Nintendo Entertainment System. He had never met his father. The intensity of the memory visions had been increasing. The opacity of his field of hindsight, situated slightly below and just behind his optical field of vision, was now at the highest setting he had ever experienced, completely blocking his view of the road and commanding his full attention. He was crying silently, his body jolting rhythmically like an exaggerated heartbeat as he watched. A boy of about 13 years with shoulder-length black hair is wearing a Boy Scout uniform and fondling a tennis ball. He stands at the edge of a lumpy church parking lot. He watches, owl-like, as the other boys, some in Boy Scout uniforms, and a few in jeans and t-shirts from Kmart, flit and swirl around the asphalt like a flock of finches. His attention rests on an autistic named Kyle in a gray Jurassic Park t-shirt, tucked into faded jeans that stop a few inches above his white New Balance sneakers, laughing loudly with his mouth wide open, running at full speed. The owl boy winds up, lifts one knee as he twists his body, and in perfect form pitches a lime green fastball. He watches in amazement as it glides like a cruise missile, 20 yards without losing altitude, to connect perfectly with Kyle's temple, producing a loud pop. Kyle's feet continue on, leaving his frame behind, bicycling up as his body levitates horizontally for a moment, before smashing into the gravel and blacktop, tumbling violently, with a sound like a coffee grinder as the skin is scraped off his elbows and wrists. Everyone looks wide-eyed at the owl boy for a few seconds, before three run off towards the basement stairs where the adults are talking, and the rest gather around crying Kyle. The owl boy doesn't move. His face is expressionless. Suddenly, the veil of hindsight falls away, like a heavy theater curtain, into a thumping heap, revealing a toll booth barreling towards the big blue van. "Fuck," the driver of the van exclaims as he slams on the brakes, just in time to screech to a stop at the window of the toll booth. At the same time, the driver becomes aware of the film of tears and red streaks covering his face. In panicked embarrassment, he tries to wipe the weakness from his face, but it's too late. The man in the toll booth would see. He would see the crack in his glass. The ugly fracture that through constant vigilance, careful posturing and contortion, he was usually able to position directly opposite his fellow humans, hidden from view by an enormous effort made to appear natural. To his great astonishment, rather than relief, the man in the toll booth was also crying, caught off guard, attempting to conceal his weakness. The driver watched, their splayed fingers dragging across his face, as the toll booth crier mirrored his movements, comforting mimicry. The driver fumbled in his wallet for 4 $1 bills, thrust them into the toll booth window without looking. The driver's license is visible in a small leather-framed picture window. Suez P. Murrah, 33 Courts Road, Cistern, Pennsylvania, 11956. The toll booth crier, an elderly black man in a blue sweater and white hair under a blue baseball hat, handed the driver 15 cents without looking. "Thank you, boss," Suez said quietly. The crier nodded without looking.